Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I wanted to show you guys the fastest ways to unlock traits. Now I'll be showing you the pay to win version first, and I'll show the free to play version second. So let's get into this video. So pay to win, let's say you have this specific staff and this specific wand. You want to get full traits. Let's say you only have one trait, you need to level it up. We'll go with the staff for buff duration. So if you want to do pay to win, this is the fastest way for traits. So staff with buff duration, and it's the tier 2 purple. So we're gonna go in the auction house, and as long as it is a tier 2, you can use it with it having a 100% chance of upgrading the trait. Now if you use a tier 1, or like I say tier 0 item, then you have a lower percentage of getting that trait upgrade, and I'll show you right now. So let's say we wanted buff duration. Look, it doesn't matter what weapon it is. It could be a sword and shield, it could be a great sword, it could be, you know, a longbow. Even as long as it has the same trait and it is tier 2, so epic 2, then you have a 100% chance of upgrading your trait. So if I were to buy this right now for 118 Lucent, I would be able to sacrifice it to this abyssal staff, and I would have a 100% chance of upgrading this abyssal staff from buff duration 3% to, I'm assuming, buff duration 4%. That is by far the fastest way of upgrading traits. Now to unlock traits, obviously not everyone knows this, but if you want to unlock traits, let's show 𝓟𝓚𝓞𝓜𝓞 staff for example. Let's say you have an item, you only have one trait on it, you have tons of Lucent, you have tons of money, you want to get the traits done as quick as you possibly can. All you gotta do is you gotta get the same item with a different trait in order to unlock new slots on your trait list. Now if you don't have that, you're gonna have to use trait unlock stones. There's many ways to get these, but they're a lot more complicated than other things on getting. Like growth stones are way easier to get than unlock stones. So I'd recommend, if you have Lucent, just buy the same item with the trait that you want. Obviously not 𝓟𝓚𝓞 unless you're, you know, have $20,000 to just waste on getting full traits and then, you know, throwing more 𝓟𝓚𝓞 staffs in here. But that is the way for a pay to win player in order to unlock traits and max out your traits. Now for a free to play player, and I highly recommend this because all it takes is time. I mean, you are trading out your time, but that's the whole point of playing a game. You know, you're having fun, you want to get more powerful, you want to spend your time. So how to do it for free to play players: what you can either do is you can take two routes on this. You can do co-op dungeons in order to unlock more abyssal contract tokens. You can also do 𝓒𝓈𝖇𝖊𝖒𝖊𝖗 will give you some abyssal contract tokens, as well as contracts will also get you some abyssal contract tokens. But what you're going to want to do when you get a lot of those abyssal contract tokens is you're going to want to run either Crimson Mansion or 𝓕𝖊𝖒𝖊𝖗 Estate. Now 𝓕𝖊𝖒𝖊𝖗 is more for newer player base, people who are under 5,000 CP. Crimson Manor is more for people who are over 5,000, you know, usually closer to 6,000 is more helpful for doing Crimson. And yes, you need a full party in order to do Crimson. I also recommend getting a full party for 𝓕𝖊𝖒𝖊𝖗 because it makes the grind go faster in order to use those abyssal contract tokens. Now what happens when you're at either of these locations, either Crimson or 𝓕𝖊𝖒𝖏, while you're killing these enemies, you're going to be getting drops, and it's going to be using those abyssal tokens. Now the best thing to do as a free-to-play player is to cook some food, and the reason why is because some of this food gives different things. So obviously a lot of people need Solent all the time, right? Now you can cook some of these Solent foods, XP food, if you need to level up, but the main food that you want for 𝓓𝓚𝓚 and Crimson especially is this quality crab meat pie, because it gives a 10% abyssal contract token efficiency. Now another thing I highly recommend getting is the mastery report. This gives you a 30% weapon mastery XP bonus. If you're wondering how to get those, all you gotta do is go to the battle pass. You don't have to buy the battle pass, just go to the Radiant Star shop and you can scroll down and the mastery reports right here. You can buy 2 of them for 50 of these star crystals, which are super easy to get. Now you can also buy abundance fruit. Abundance fruit gives you more gold bonus or more solent bonus, so you can get even more gold, because you will be getting a decent amount of gold from doing a token burn at either 𝓓𝓚𝓚 or Crimson. But while you're burning these tokens, if you pop those foods in the mastery, then you'll be able to burn quite a lot of tokens, and you'll be getting a lot of purples and blues. Also depends on your item chance. I can go over item chance percentage in another video, but for this video, it's pretty simple. The more item chance percentage you have, the higher the chance of looting something better you get. So you have a higher chance of getting purples, let that be precious gems or be tier 2 gear or even tier 1 gear. For example, see, I only killed 1 enemy and I got rare, but I didn't get any precious yet. But it drops precious ores, which you can also use to upgrade your combat power. But yeah, so it'll be dropping these blue gear. Then what you're gonna want to do with the blue gear is go to your trait, click on one of your items. Now you can either scroll down and find the blue gear, see what the trait is. So this one is melee, this one has ranged evasion, though my pants don't have ranged evasion, so I can't use it. This one has debuff, can't use it. You know, so I gotta find one that has a trait that I haven't already maxed out, and I'm able to sacrifice this gear that dropped for my gear to make my gear stronger. And now every time you upgrade a trait on your gear, you get more combat power, which makes you even stronger as well. So those are the most efficient ways of upgrading your traits. Now, as a free-to-play player, you can also do the Lucent version. And the reason I say this is because when you're doing these token burns, you're going to be getting a lot of purple gear. Now, a lot of that purple gear will be useless or trash, but half the time you can use it for trade upgrades. Other half of the time, you can either use it in material transmutation in order to get better gear, or you can just use it in your lithograph book in order to get either unlock stones or some ores, extraction stones, conversion stones, whatever you really need. But while you're farming, there are some tier 1 items that are worth between 80 to 150 Lucent, depending on the trait. Now, a lot of people might disagree with me, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out if you search for it. But I've been able to sell a few thousand Lucent worth of already, and I've only been playing for about 2 months. So I'm only 2 months into this game. I'm at 5600 CP. I already looted 𝓟𝓡𝓞𝓜𝓞 staff. I looted it, by the way. I could still sell it if I wanted to, but I'm debating on making a build for it. Anyways, back to the video. So as a free-to-play player, you can farm Lucent, and then you can use that Lucent to buy traits that you need to upgrade your gear. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to make Lucent as a free-to-play player? There's tons of ways. The easiest way, in my opinion, and the fastest way, is if you have a bunch of abyssal tokens already, abyssal contract tokens, just farm 𝓓𝓚𝓚 or Crimson. If you have a stronger party, go for Crimson. If you have a weaker party or less people, go for 𝓓𝓚𝓚. What you're going to want to do is, when you get all of that gear, let's say you get a piece of gear, like for example, let's say you get this crossbow. Let's say crossbows of infinite steel, max mana. So you're going to search up infinite steel with max mana trait on the auction house. So infinite steel. Okay. Apparently infinite steel is not in the auction house. I swear it was. Am I mistyping it? I swear I typed it right. Apparently not. anyways, I guess we'll take shot commander then. I don't know why that's, oh, no wonder. Okay. Because it's tier 1. And I have tier 2 criteria selected. Search criteria, apply. There we go. Alright, so then we got the trait. Max mana. This is only worth 43 Lucent. So this is probably going to end up costing 50 trait extraction stones. And the thing with the trait extraction stones is you don't want to make less Lucent than how many stones it costs. You want to make at least double. So you would want an item that's worth at least 100 Lucent if it costs 50 trait extraction stones to extract it. Now, trait extraction stones are very easy to get, but I'm going to show you this right now. If I click trait extraction stone, since it's a tier 1 helmet, it's only 25 Lucent. Not Lucent, sorry, 25 extraction stones. Same with the staff, it's only 25 extraction stones. And actually the crossbow is 25. So if this trait was selling for 60 Lucent or more, it would be worth extracting it for 25 stones. And the reason is because you're gonna get so much gear, you're not gonna know what to do with it. So what I would highly recommend is searching up every single piece of gear that you have, figure out the gear that's tier 1 that's never worth it, the gear that doesn't cost more than, you know, you're spending, that's not getting you double the percentage, and just memorize that type of gear and then just use it for material transmutation or your lithograph book. As for the rest, use it for traits or sell it for trait extractions. Now the way to get these trait extraction stones, there's multiple ways. You can either go to the battle pass and buy extraction stones, 10 of them for 50 of these, which is not bad. You know, I get quite a bit for what I have. Or number 2, you can go to the contract merchant. You can go to any merchant. The fastest way for me every day is to go to the contract merchant here in Castleton and just do the, I usually do the egg ones and the dish for vegetarian. I do that, and I do the, or is it that fresh salad, mom's fried egg, and where's the other egg one? I don't see the other egg one. I'm just gonna do a random one. Not seeing the other egg one, but all you do is accept the contracts, turn in the food if you have it. If you don't have it, just go over to the oven right there and cook it. And what this is giving you is contract coins. Now, since I have 𝓟𝓡𝓞𝓜𝓞 favor right now, I'm getting double.
Take a look at the contract.
So now if I go to the contract manager, I go down and look, there's extraction stones. So you get 1 extraction stone per 7 contract coins, and you get, I think 30, you get either, I think it's 33 to 40 contract coins per contract you complete for this cooking one. But I just bought 25 for 175 contract coins. So it's that simple. So all you do then is you find the item that you think is worth selling. So I'm going to do this as an example just to show you how to do it. I don't care if I'm wasting it or not. So max mana, let's say, you know, it's worth more than 25, but it's not worth 50. You know, it's not completely worth it. But I'm just going to show you how you would go about extracting. So all you do is you click on that, extract, and that's it. Then from there on, you go to the auction house, you go to the sell option once it loads, there we go, and then you just click it right here and it'll show you the price in Lucent of what it's worth. So it's saying right now on average, you know, it's selling around 43 to 48 from what I saw, from what I've seen the last week actually. But I'm going to sell it for 40 Lucent. So it cost me 25 trait extraction stones and I'm selling it for 40. So I am making more, I'm making a decent amount of Lucent, but I'm not making enough for it to be worth it, because you want at least double of what the trait extraction is costing you. So now you just put it up for the auction house, you wait for it, it'll post, and then it could sell anytime. It could sell now as soon as you post it, or it could sell in 10 minutes, it could sell in 2 days. It just depends. But most of the cheaper stuff, more of the under 100 CP, I mean, sorry, 100 Lucent, under 200 Lucent, usually that stuff sells pretty quick, unless it's these rings that are only worth 10 Lucent that you can sell without trade extracting, those are going to take a while, because I've had these selling for a while. I had 5 or 6 rings. It took me about a week and a half to sell most of them, and I got 1 ring left. But yeah, so that's how you do it as a free-to-play player. Now there's other ways to get trade extraction stones. I believe you can get them from the resistance goods merchant. Not 100% sure, but I think you can. Yes, you can. You can get 5 per 1 special resistance medal, which is pretty good. But you get those, I think, every week. This resets. But yeah, so those are all the ways for pay to win and free to play players in order to unlock traits and get more combat power. Now there are a few other methods you could do, but I'll go over those in a later video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Peace out.